Okay.
Okay, we're good to go?
No.
Yep.
Which one?
Who wants to start the
Big
meeting?
height. We're ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so today is April 16, 2025. The time is 7:11 p.m. We're going to start a joint meeting with budget priorities, economic development, and public safety. Let's start by introducing ourselves. Juan Luciano.
I'm Stacy Andillion, Budget and Priority Committee, co-chair.
Ryan Barthel, Community Development Budget Priority Chair.
Veronica Castro, Economic Development Co-Chair.
I'm Shodanam Bertam, Committee Board Member, Economic Development.
Dwayne Williams, Committee of Development and Budget Priorities, and Public Safety Committee.
And I don't see anyone from any of the committees online, so that's all the introductions.
This one second. So, should we start with public safety? That way, if we can.
Yeah.
And let the officers go and then we move on to the next part, other agenda.
So, when it comes to the breakdown, we are not able to obtain it right now. We've in the process of getting a crime prevention officer. I am by myself as community affairs officer. I had another partner with me. She's out on maternity leave. Officer Gomez is supposed to be my partner, but we had issues with getting that approved downtown. We do need another person in this position because we need people to advocate for you guys as well and making sure your complaints get addressed properly. But that's just the powers that be. I can't really sit there and say too much about that. But I know you guys had some questions and concerns about things that are going on within the community. As of right now, we are short-staffed. I hate to express that to you guys, but we had about 220 officers at one point. Now we're down to 140. That being said, we used to have about 7 to 8 officers on 4 to 12. Now we're down to how many? 4 to 12 tour.
So they're down to like 5 or 6 cars.
And then the day tour is down to about
3.
3.
Today was 3.
So us being short with that, we pull all of our resources, meaning that we take from domestic violence unit to come and help us out on patrol. We take from our crime analysis unit, we put them on patrol. We have NCOs now, we're trying to fill up positions because there was a sector boy that was missing at one point. And Sector Charlie was missing, no, Sector Charlie was the one that was missing a sector officer. So now that we're filling that spot, now we're taking from our patrol officers and now we're short.
Yes.
We had Officer Maderos at one point. He was our crime prevention officer. He retired. The position got filled a few weeks ago with Officer Brancatelli.
Yes.
Brancatelli is now going to another place. So we're losing him. Like I said, I'm one in the office. They're trying to either have him fill the crime prevention spot, but I'm also trying to battle for him to stay as my community affairs officer. So we're a little bit stuck when it comes to that. It doesn't mean that we're not trying our best to address your guys' complaints. Yeah, like I said, like whatever you guys need, I do longer than I have to make sure that we get these things taken care of. But like I said, when it does come down to when I'm on vacation and you don't have anybody at the command, yeah, you could call me, but it'd be nice to have somebody extra there. So that's where we are.
We appreciate you coming in today and we totally understand the hardships that you guys are facing over there. When the position is filled or until it is for public safety, in the future, if somebody could come and join us to
Yes.
address any concerns that the people have.
Yeah,
That would
we
be
could
great.
still be the ones to answer the concerns, but the breakdown we weren't able to get right away.
No, that's
Yeah.
fine. And I mean, we usually like that for the public safety, but
course.
if you can get it, that would be great.
Yes,
We
no
appreciate it.
problem.
If not, then we understand that also.
And we'll try to get the NCOs here for the next meeting. This is like Sector Adam, so maybe we could have an NCO Adam come out.
Okay, Yeah, that would be great too.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
When you say the breakdown, you mean the stats, like,
Yeah.
Like the 28-day period of the crime, that's
and when you're saying that there are 5 to 6 cars, sometimes 3, is that like patrolling the community or you mean in?
in the 4-9 precinct. That's
The
what we're
whole-
dealing with, but it's a shortage citywide. It's a citywide crisis.
I get it. And how is that, like, is that manifesting in any way? Is
As far as like the crime?
Yes.
Our deputy inspector, Tia Tong, is really good at what he does with the amount of people that we have. He came from a background of the detective squad. So when he knows where to place you, but he would love to have more officers that come in to make sure that we can get more and make sure that crime is still, down and without the pressure these officers having to sit there and combat those crimes.
and when was the last time that you were able to look at the breakdown?
That's a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I think in the last community council meeting is when we saw those.
And in relations to like, I don't know what you compare with, maybe the same date, the year prior or something like that. How, were we up, were we down, were we
So for
steady?
that period, we were down in everything except assaults, like
Okay.
felony assaults. We were up because we had like 3 cops assaulted in that time period, but arrests were made on all 3 of those assaults. So even though we were up, the arrests were made for those assaults. Oh, and I remember everything else we were down.
Nothing's had increased. Everything is been better.
Yeah. So it seems like the sacrifices that you guys are making is actually paying off in terms of.
It is paying off, yes.
That's it. Anyone else has any questions? Should we go to the gallery?
Oh, sure.
Sure, go ahead.
About the federal home robbery in Van Ness. Did they catch anyone?
The federal?
Federal.
If you're,
Oh, the funeral home, that's still an ongoing investigation.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one.
Our detectives are very, very good at what they do.
Yeah, I live at the.
Yeah, that I can say. So they're working diligently to make sure that they, investigate that properly.
Okay, thank you.
I think.
So when you say you was 220 and down to 140, what happened to all those officers? They
A lot
retired?
of officers retire, they go to different police departments. It's hard to, once the cops come onto this job, they go straight out because it's just easier route to go. It's a lot. I don't want to sit there and then bash anybody or anything. It's a lot of pressure that we're under, but
You mean it's easier for them to go to a different police department once they have, right?
Mm,
because they already did at the academy. Because we want, so we'll get you through, but once you come through, now we can't keep you. Now they want to go somewhere else.
Right.
Because the other jobs are a little harder to get. But now that they know that you're NYPD, you already did that, we already paid for your academy,
Right.
now we could.
There's
Wait,
no
wait.
commitment requirement? All right. I think Robert Press has a question.
It's up to the chairs if they want to go to the gallery now.
Oh, who's the chair of the?
They don't have a chair.
All right.
No, I'll leave it up for you.
I'll go to the gallery.
I think I did have to go, right? You have to go quickly. So why don't we ask any problem on?
Well, let's see what Robert has to say real quick first, because it might be in relation to what they just discussed, and then we'll go to the other one. Bob?
Thank you. The former executive officer at one precinct council meeting said that the precinct was down to 82 officers. However, through the councilwoman and myself, when I spoke to Mayor Adams, the precinct had gotten extra officers. So I believe the detective hall could be right, but it could be a little less than the number that she placed.
Yeah,
The former captain, now the deputy inspector, has done a terrific job at the precinct and has motivated the officers to work harder, and that's why crime is down at the precinct. In July, I had said to the mayor that crime was up, and the officers and the commanding officer are doing a fantastic job. And I just have one question for the detective. When is and where is the next precinct council meeting?
Oh, yeah, there's been back and forth on what exactly they wanted it. We wanted it at Brady, but, we didn't get a commitment yet. I'm hopefully we get the answer by today and we could just send out this flyer already for you guys.
I was told there was a problem on parking at Brady.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people had concern about with the parking.
Thank
see
you.
it for the community board? No, open the thing. Go open the door.
Oh.
Sorry, guys.
On that.
Hello.
Okay, anything else, Bob?
I don't think he heard.
No, that was it. I said thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Bob. Okay,
Amita, sir.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Sorry, I'm having allergies. Yeah, I've been saying this for over 2 decades. I don't understand why people don't carpool or share taxis, because that's when I was with a lot of the different community groups. I never owned a vehicle. I still don't own a vehicle. I used to either ask people if I could carpool with them and offer gas or whatever, money, or I would be with other people in the taxi. I know people are used to being in their own cars and whatever, but a lot of these locations, I remember, for the precinct council meetings, it was very difficult with the parking. The community board, full board was one of the only few, I guess, good things for people, because being in Lubin Hall, there, or whatever that building is called, you got the parking lot right there. CCM Wallerstein, or whatever it's called now, they had the parking lot. Not every place had that. So if people could maybe look into carpooling. I know people don't want other people in their vehicles and stuff, but in this day and age of the cost of gas and parking and, wouldn't it just make more sense to make a suggestion?
No, I think that honestly, that was one of the things that we were talking about, that it's, if you wanna voice your opinion, you wanna stand by whatever it is that you have to say, I think you would go no matter what and figure out a way to get there.
Yeah, because that's what I used to do, or I used to share cabs with people going and coming, and it worked out very reasonably financially and whatever. Everybody got to where they were going, everybody got home in one piece, and they were able to get up and go to work the next day. I just
Yeah.
don't understand why people are so like, oh, my car, I have to have my car, and I don't want anybody, or they have their little cliquey groups, and they won't, invite another person into their group or their vehicle. I think it's kind of childish in a way, and this has been going on for I've been volunteering with different things for, God, like 30 years. So it's just, if anyone at a precinct council meeting or any meeting that comes before that, if they could maybe
Second, okay.
make the suggestion. I'm sorry, my time is up. I'm sorry.
Well, you still got a couple, but just wanted to warn you.
Okay, great. And then if you guys are going to discuss the place on Lydig Avenue that they wanted I think it was the liquor license. I don't remember the name of the place. And Roxanne had come in
Yes,
and made comments about it. Are they planning on appearing tonight, or is there any discussion of that
I don't
facility?
think they're on the agenda.
no,
No? Okay, yeah, so maybe they back down from it, hopefully.
sorry, I'm sorry, Ms. Cordell, your time is up now.
Okay, all right, thanks anyway.
Any other questions for the officers, so we could let them go?
Oh, you just want to find out about the economic developments, if they have any.
Yeah, I just want to just double check this address that we have, if they have any crime, anything coming.
Which one was it?
920 Morris Park Avenue.
The ones listed under 5.
Yeah,
I know we spoke, so
Yeah,
1340, so he already looked at 1344 East Gun Hill Road, and that shouldn't be an issue.
Okay.
The 1556 Williamsbridge, I know that one we received a couple complaints in regards to noise.
Okay.
Each month, it's just been noise. But as far as like
14 years.
arrest or anything over there, it hasn't been anything in a while. Or any summonses hasn't been in a while for that location, so I don't see it being that big of a problem unless that noise is something that you guys would take in consideration.
Noise meaning just like the music coming from
Yeah.
the
From this,
place.
yeah, so that could also flood 911, 311, and
on 1418 Mesa Avenue.
I think that 1480 was okay. Let us just double check real quick.
I don't have anything from this person.
And 929 Morris Park 2 is okay.
929.
Yeah, I have it.
929 was okay.
Yeah, somebody's looking for it.
Yes, that was the first one. She said that's fine.
This will be pretty much.
This is the one with the noise.
This is 1480 base.
Need to get some job left out location. 1480 might be. Hold on one second. Maybe the last one was all the way down in 1117, so I don't see that being a big of a deal. It was recently in 2025, I would say, yeah. The last one was all the way down in November.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think.
Okay. Well, do you have any questions on that?
No,
Okay. Is there anything that you wanted to let us know about or tell us about?
No, I don't think so. I think I need to start coming to these meetings more often. Like I
Yeah,
said, I've been so overwhelmed with all the workload. Not that I can't handle it, but just to make sure if I could split myself a million ways, I would be in everybody's meeting. So, you know, today was meeting. But yeah, that's just.
you're always welcome. You don't have to wait for an invite. Feel free to join us anytime.
Thank you.
About the board meeting.
The board meeting is next Thursday, 7 o'clock. If you want to come on by, you can.
It's at Brown's house.
Is it at Bronx House? It's
Yeah,
not done.
I think-
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I can't. This is one of the things I was saying. I'm on vacation.
Oh,
Ah.
that's fine.
And that's the thing too, because he's supposed to be covering, but then again, if patrol is short, then he gets pulled.
Yeah.
So then you won't have anybody there.
Okay, no, that's fine. Whenever you can, we'd love to have you,
No problem.
both of you. Okay. I
Thank you
think,
guys so much for coming.
Yeah, no problem.
thank you so much. We appreciate it very much that you guys.
I don't know if I should give out my number out loud so that way you guys can have it.
That's up to you if you.
Yeah,
want
that's
to.
fine. I have no problem with that. It's 917-434-2704.
Okay.
And if you need anything, if I don't answer, just want to shoot me a text message and say, hey, you know, I've just been trying to reach you, or you could send a message of what it is if you want to, and then I'll just get back to you like, oh man, I'm sorry, or whatever. I'll try to get back as quickly as I
So
can.
it's Detective Hall, right?
Yes.
I'll give you my number as well. It's Officer Gomez. It's 929-383-9105.
We should tell you guys busy. We should.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Text is easier. I could see, I'm like, oh man, I missed it. Because the call sometimes I don't hear.
No, we get
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Okay?
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks so much.
Continue to have a safe night.
Yes, thank you.
And we know your car's here, so if you want to exit through here, you can.
Oh, okay, that'd be great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you guys. All right, thank you.
Alright, so
So now if you wanted to do economic development, we have two of the applicants here. We could just
Okay.
do it real quick.
sure.
We won't, technically we can't vote on it, but at least we can discuss them and then we can take our time with budget priorities.
Sure. So Universe Cafe, right?
Is Kay still have our hand?
No.
Oh, got it. Awesome. All right, so he was here first, so we'll start with him. All right, and then on to you.
Do you know the background of this one, right, son?
Yeah, he was here before. It was
I was new my first time. And
cafeteria kind of thing.
Yeah, I opened it like 4 months
Okay.
ago on December 10th.
So what happened?
I came here September 6th to apply. So I came here to apply for a full license and then I changed my mind. Then I got for beer, wine, beer
And
you know,
cider.
yeah. A few days later, I came to the office here and I said I'm going to apply before the second meeting there. But I didn't mention there to say to the full board, like I want
the full license.
So
Right.
I brought a letter here and I applied for full license. And from then until now, they sent me a letter. Everything is approved except this. They said to send a letter to them that you guys are okay for me
Okay.
to get that full license.
So we have to give you a recommendation for like.
Yes, so he has until April 23rd to respond to the deficiency letter. So the only thing with that is we don't meet to the 24th for full
Oh.
board. We can bring it to leadership.
Yeah, and then
This was technically already approved by the board. We're just adding on liquor, which can be a big deal, like I was telling you before, because wine, beer, and cider is one thing, but to add on liquor, that's why it couldn't automatically be done unless you came to the committee first. We can try and bring it to the leadership committee and see if we can get it voted there.
but
But it depends on what we decide here.
don't we still need the full board vote?
Because when is the general board meeting?
It's the 24th.
24th and 25th.
You
And
can't
he
get an
needs to respond
extension.
by
It
the
can be an
23rd.
addition.
We tried Jeremy here.
Didn't work? Okay. Yeah, sure, whatever we can do to help, but,
Yeah. I mean,
but.
the 4-9 doesn't have any issues, but they said they haven't had any issues since we voted on it in September of last year.
Yeah, I don't think that's the issue. The issue is the meeting is on the 24th and the deadline is on the 23rd.
So Jeremy,
I don't know how we get over that part of the, and I don't know that.
Not only that, people don't have a forum, so can't vote on it today or really at leadership. There's,
But he can address any issue.
I was hoping to get Jeremy's feedback on it.
Jeremy?
it's them to win.
Chris is not there too.
Yeah, because if we could have voted on it today, then I think we could have maybe brought it to leadership and have leadership vote on it. But we're stuck because we don't have a quorum for economic development.
I know, but you know what and I'm not trying to give you a hard time, I just trying to figure it out. I just haven't heard what would the exception be, like, I don't know if we can do that, right? So we have to still bring it up to the full board, right? And so I don't know if there's a go around that. If there is, I'm all for it, right?
Yeah, I know that
And he's
before we
shaking
brought
his
stuff
head
up
no.
to leadership and had it voted on at leadership, but I don't, like you said, I don't know if that would.
Yeah, that
be
might take care of the
sufficient not to
committee
Bring it to the,
part, right?
yeah.
That might take care of the committee requirement, which we could have done
So
today.
Jeremy called them.
Yeah, we call it a number there and it's nothing.
They wouldn't even give you a 2-day extension so we could send it out on a Friday?
Did they say no or did they not respond?
No, they didn't say, no, we talked to them and then we thought, I thought I'm gonna go through today and tomorrow and then I'll try again to extend if they.
Even if they'll even give you a 2-day extension, we can try and get an email out with whatever because we can't guarantee that it's, they're gonna, the full board's
No,
gonna
I
approve it.
understand.
But we can get the letter out by Friday if you can
Yeah.
see if you could get a 2-day extension.
Okay.
Hasn't that happened in the past where there was a couple days later and then we spoke to them and they said that, to go ahead and send it in because they're not going to make that decision. They're not sitting there waiting for
Right.
8 o'clock on.
Yeah, this is a
Thursday
little
morning.
different in that they received something from the full board saying for wine, liquor, wine, beer, and cider. And now they're waiting for us to send something.
How long ago did you receive that letter?
I received last week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, they can't.
They gave.
It's not like you had it like a month ahead and you feel like you missed one meeting. No, you're going to the next immediate meeting.
Yeah,
They give me only 10 days, 10 business days, so.
They're fantastic.
ten
They
business
got
days
the
from the
payment
date.
and everything,
Try and read the letter, please.
they approved everything else except this.
So 10 days from the date of the notice is the 19th.
Is
No,
that what it
Business
says?
days.
10
It's not
business days.
10 business days from the date of the notice. Oh, my bad.
So they put.
So what's the date?
The debt, I mean, that,
4/9.
Well, I mean, I would, like, in the letter, in our letter of presumably no objection, a letter of objection, I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
In the case of a letter of,
they put the
no
sport
objection.
due date 1/3.
Yeah, they did.
we just note that, right? We didn't have a meeting before the date that it had to be, and we can't
Yeah.
approve it without having a meeting.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
impossible.
that we
to
can
wait
do
till they
also.
did it. We can note that problem, 'cause that's an issue that they created, the liquor board's creation.
10 days from the date. Does that include the date?
yeah, it does. They have it on the 23rd.
Yeah.
They specifically wrote response during that time. But I think what Ryan said makes sense too, that we can include in our letter, we can include the fact that we did not have a meeting until the 24th. So their arbitrary 10-day deadline, there's no way he could have met that deadline, right? Because of the fact that we did not have a meeting prior to that 10-day deadline. So, all right, let me just read. So I think there's a willingness to do, and this happens, and you're not the first one. There's a willingness for us to do as much as we can, but I don't, unless someone between now and leadership tells me or finds an exception in the rule that allows leadership to somehow, pass the vote of the full board. I think best we could do is give you the letter, hopefully a
Yeah.
letter of no objection with the, additional information about the fact that we did not have a meeting until the 24th, and then wish you the best of luck.
I would give them a call and give them the heads up.
Yeah.
Let them know that we don't meet until Thursday night, which is the 24th,
Mhm.
at which time we can give a recommendation. We can get it to them by the 25th, but that's the best that the community board might be able to do at this point. So I would give them a heads up and let them know that.
Yeah, okay, because I did a mistake. I thought I applied for full, I thought. Because I brought another application a few days later here and I thought that's how it works, just bring the application here.
Yeah, I'm not sure why,
and-
it should have come before the committee again. That's not your fault
No,
that you
no,
brought in a
my
new
first time.
application. But yeah, I should have come to the committee first and then we would have sent out another letter.
I
But-
didn't mention the second, the full board we did there.
Oh.
I was there, so I brought it like a day before the full board to give it to Chris, and then came to the full board. I didn't say nothing. I thought it was the same,
Oh, okay,
and yeah, I just applied for. the
gotcha.
license.
I have it. All right.
Juan, I think we had a problem there before with 600 minutes.
Yeah,
we
we've
had,
yeah.
and then what happened was, when he came to apply for the liquor license, the date is the date. The liquor authority don't really change it. Chris had make us do voting by phone, if I could recall. When,
The full board?
no, just economic development to make an approval.
Yeah, but I think that part is the easy part. We will do that if we have to. But I think we can, as you know,
And we can.
the committee only makes a recommendation to the full board, and then the full board has to vote on the recommendation. And unless there's a way to get around that, which there might be, I don't know. Unless
This
there's
one,
a way
I
to
announced
get
the
around.
ground commander, Chris Commander. This one, Paxton. There's a gentleman, right, you have as much as.
I think Malcolm is saying something that might be interesting, but I think it's the same thing that Ryan said.
That's,
Yeah, we, that's what we
Yeah.
said before. Yeah, that's what you were saying before, Juan, that when we send it, we can let them know that. We weren't able to meet our schedule.
Yeah, it wasn't your-
until the 24th.
It's not your
No, no,
fault
I
that
understand.
the Thursday falls on the 24th instead of the 22nd.
Yeah,
All right, so we'll bring it up at leadership, step 1. Bring it up at the full board, step 2. And then we'll put in the fact that it was out of your control.
yeah.
Cross our fingers.
We can work with Harriet and Jeremy because Chris is out of the office this week to make sure that the letter gets out on Friday. We could
I
email
wonder
it
if they
to
could send a letter saying that the board doesn't meet until, like, prior to.
Yeah, I think
Know
that,
that.
I think that should happen.
I think it is not that, so,
I know, Chris, I mean, you said that they try to help you with an extension already, right?
Yeah, with Jeremy, we tried to
All right.
call them, because I came here a few days ago.
Okay. I'll talk to Jeremy and Harriet tomorrow about getting an email sent out to let them know we don't meet until Thursday night. We won't be able to give them a letter, a recommendation until Friday. So please give you some consideration for that.
Appreciate that, thank you.
No problem.
So do I have to come tomorrow at 7 o'clock?
No,
No, you're fine.
yeah,
I mean, you might want to come to the full board meeting.
yeah.
With
Otherwise,
24,
In
Yeah.
case people have questions.
yeah, sure, yeah.
Yeah, or you may
If
even
I
want
have
to.
to, I can come because I'm 2 blocks away, I'll be
Yeah.
here, so I can.
It's gonna be at Bronx House, no, it's not at the hospital. It's gonna be at Bronx House on Pound Parkway.
Oh, Pelham Parkway, okay.
Yeah.
You should
Okay.
come anyway and maybe explain, like in the gallery session, because we had the gallery session before, and then just let the full board know.
Tomorrow,
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, not tomorrow, next Thursday.
next Thursday, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And let them know that that's, what happened and why it's being changed. So that way, those who don't watch the meeting on video at least will understand.
Okay.
Okay,
All right, thank you so much. Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you.
Yes, I have seen copies of
Okay.
what they sent to me, so
okay, thank you.
thanks a lot. Can I go this way?
Yes.
Thank
No,
you.
no, no,
Okay.
no.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good
Okay.
night. Appreciate it.
Which one was that? I'm
Hey.
pulling up there.
I'm sorry, I have allergies, so if I'm talking, I apologize.
So, this is a new application, correct?
Yes,
Right.
so we're seeking the 30-day advance notice. It's for a family restaurant. It's located at 1344 East Lanier Road. It's Usuri Grill, New York. And this is their first time.
And they're looking for wine, beer, cider, and liquor?
No, not liquor.
Okay, so
So
just
just-
wine, beer, and
yeah.
cider.
Are you their representative or?
Yes, I wasn't able to get the owner to come out, so I had to come.
What's your name, man?
Rhonda Obi.
Can you spell the last name?
It's OBI.
Great. And I think we talked to the officers about the place.
Yeah, they didn't have any issues with this location.
Okay. Anyone, just. So there's one question that always comes up, and that is the notice provision. I think 30 days prior to, or during the application process for the liquor license, there's a notice provision that has to be posted in the front door of the business.
Okay, yes.
Did your clients do that?
We didn't do that already because we hadn't gotten any response. Like, this is the first time I'm doing an on-site license. I usually do off-site licenses, so I felt as though we submitted the application. They were just very courteous to be able to take the application. I thought there were other things that we needed to submit with the application, so that's why we never put it, no notice.
When you say that you submitted the application, you mean to the liquor authority?
No, to
Us.
to you guys. So
Okay.
we haven't submitted anything to the
To the
liquor.
liquor authority. Okay. And I think they also requested a certificate of occupancy.
Okay, so with the certificate of occupancy, for some reason, the building doesn't have one. Yeah, I went online and I checked and I couldn't find it. So I'm not.
So what was there before?
Well,
It was a restaurant there before, but they didn't have beer and wine. No, they didn't sell beer and wine, so I guess they didn't have to have
We
it.
should have a seat.
But usually I thought when you move into a location, it's supposed to be posted. That's what I thought.
Yeah, even for a restaurant, you're supposed to have a certificate of occupancy.
I
Yeah,
think they're only available on the DOB now site after like 2014. So if no one has gotten anything updated since then, you may have to go downtown and have them make a copy of it. So it's a little bit of a process, but it's not too bad.
okay.
So I wonder, like, are you, because we usually get individuals that have already submitted the application to the liquor authority, then, it makes sense to put in the notice.
So from when I spoke to the liquor authority, they said we had to get this done first before we
They want this
submit
done first.
before we submit the application.
Okay.
So they don't send a notice 10 days before and we don't have a meeting.
Okay.
All
right.
were you given the questionnaire
Yes,
for the community board?
yes,
Okay, and you submitted it?
yes.
First, and then, so they didn't send it to us.
Right. So that's the other problem. Are you able, between now and April 24th, are you able to get us a certificate of occupancy?
I'm not sure how long that
I
process.
don't know how long it.
It may be there, but why the reason we are asking that? We want to see what was there on the certificate of occupancy.
No, it was a restaurant that was there before this place.
But you say you didn't see anything.
No, they didn't have a beer and wine. No, it was a restaurant. It was a Jamaican restaurant
But I think that there's also like
at the same location.
safety reasons why we look at the certificate of
Yeah,
occupancy.
because I want to ask you the next question. The restaurant, you have egress, you have enter in from the front and you
Yeah.
got an egress at the back.
They have a lift.
Egress means there's a door in case there's a fire.
Way to get out.
Yes, there's a door in the back and there's an entrance in the front. There's a basement.
The door at the back goes where?
It goes to the back, to the
Is there
Rear
a way to get to the street from there, or does it just go into an enclosed back door?
I believe it goes out to the street and there's a gate. So I'm sure that gate opens up. I'm gonna find out. I'm sure it
On
opens.
working hours or business hours?
Huh?
On business hours, should be open in case there's.
We don't leave it open, like it's a fence, sort of like a gated fence in the back. So I gotta find out if it opens up, but I think it does. I think it opens up.
Oh,
I mean, it could be secured, but you have to allow someone to get out of the facility.
Okay, yeah, for to exit, like in case of something. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, because it is an exit, so.
So on this next,
You can get this.
you have, you see those things that emergency light and exit light?
Yeah,
You don't want to,
yeah, I
do
see.
you have that on both doors, back up front?
I gotta find out.
I don't know what that is.
Huh?
No, somebody just gave us a link, but it's not for the address that we're looking at.
Yeah, it's probably not online, but you could go down with a representative
Yeah.
and they could retrieve that from the archive if it exists.
Oh,
So how many tables and chairs, I mean, how many people are in?
all right.
the capacity, I would say about 45 to 50.
Do you have security cameras
Yes, we do.
inside and outside, or just?
Inside and outside, yeah.
Okay, I'm
So,
just trying to think of what other questions are on the
I'm
questionnaire.
gonna notate the exits.
so you're gonna get food service hour from 11 AM to 10 PM. That's Monday to Thursday, right?
Monday through what?
Thursday.
Thursday.
And bar service at from 1 PM to 9 PM.
Oh, it's documented on the paper?
No, I have something sent to me too.
Okay, yeah, I guess because the owner must have put that in, yeah.
Is that the questionnaire?
No.
So, madam, you haven't,
Yeah. that's the questionnaire.
so you haven't applied yet, right?
No,
All right. So the notice provision, the posting doesn't have to be done. You have to do it within 10 days of filing the application.
the actual application.
Yeah, so then that's premature because they want you to come
Come
here.
here first and get the approval.
Okay. That's important to know.
Now it's a restaurant, right?
Yes,
So you know where they cook, they have this exhaust fan that will go up in the ceiling. You cook the such small.
We
I
have,
know why we have to ask the question.
of course, you need
Like,
that, yeah, because.
Yeah, the range hood. So
Yeah.
you just gotta get a service company that comes every 3 months.
We just.
But we don't really, I don't really see it on the, I don't see an application on that part that you gotta fill out, so, but it should be on that.
Yeah, we do have them.
I saw it.
We saw that from,
No, I was reading it over history.
oh, sorry.
Well, that's still not enough.
I don't think so. Burnham, what else is on the,
I really didn't see. Right, I just done the hours, it's okay, it's fine. The next was late.
And the business is open right now?
Yes,
How long has it been open?
it's a couple of months. I think it's less than a year. Let me see.
Is it adjacent to a laundromat?
Yes. Yeah. Actually. The official opening, I think,
It's gonna
was,
have
it was
16
early last year,
okay.
but the documents were filed sooner than that. So we didn't get it open till like early last year.
Was that sent to the full committee?
So that
I
could
get
have
it
been
from
over a
Jeremy.
year, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you did say you have it here, but you didn't put like the name, the exhaust coming, company.
Oh, you want to know the name of
And
the
then you have to
company?
see the person that services.
Oh, you have to see.
Because carbon monoxide kills people, you know, solve it in,
That's
and the
true.
doors are locked.
Um,
That's one of the things.
So you need to see the people that you.
No, I just put it on the,
It looks like.
just give us who the name,
Harriet
that's,
sent us
Okay, the name of the
questionnaire
person.
published.
no, the name.
Oh, so we have-
company.
Yeah.
And do you want to know the
That's right,
branch
so
of
send
the
it to the whole
actual?
board.
Yeah,
That's
you get some name Gaylord, some name. Different names.
For the exhaust, right?
Yes.
The offices or? I didn't take that one.
I did.
Is there anything else for the Rhonda?
No, I think everything is fine, except for the CO thing. And I know it might be difficult, but if you can at least make the effort.
No,
I'd say-
I've been there before, so, as long as the problem with the Department of Buildings, if there are any outstanding fixes that need to be done, then they won't issue. They don't give you the certificate of occupancy, but they give you something that serves as that, like a letter, I forgot what it was. It was something they said they give. But you have to make sure that everything is up to par. Like if there are any fines, violations, or whatever it is, it's taken care of before that's done, so.
Let me tell you how that works. If there was a restaurant before, you file for something, and it's not clear with the building department, and now they go on and you take over. So you have to file something new that you have to do, that you want it to be done, how you want it situated. Then the building department come and approve it with a CO. That's why we are very keen on the CO, to make sure that it's. Because I work with architects and building department.
Okay.
Today I met
so
a lot of
yeah,
building
you
inspectors.
would know, yeah.
So it's not that it's the biggie, but yes, we have to see something.
So we go to the building department and we tell them that we're applying for the.
That you
liquor
are,
license.
you're having you have a restaurant and you like to
And
have
then
this.
Okay. But we don't need to do any fixes, right?
Well, if you're not applying for no fixes, so go with the old one that was there before.
Okay.
Did you change anything
Right,
about
you
about
did.
the,
I know we did,
Restaurant?
we had an inspection done and we had to do some fixing downstairs at the basement and that was it. It says
Well,
it-
you all in for drawing, like a architect drawing how you want yourself. It shouldn't be a problem. We need to, let's see something.
Sure. Well, we're gonna work on that. So how soon, so as soon as we get that, we can come back? Is
Well,
that how that works?
it would be nice if you could have that before the 24th.
Or before your meeting that you.
That's right. So that way we could just vote on it and then
I'm
you're
already-
done with it. You checked off this thing, you know, and then off you go.
Otherwise, you gotta wait until May before everyone gets together in the end of May.
Oh,
So if you get it by next week, then it, saves you a month.
Yeah.
Maybe all month. And then you are applying for just, not liquor, just beer.
yeah, liquors, I know liquor's kind of complicated, so we just do the easy.
And it seems from that guy experience that you want to apply for the whole thing now.
Guy here?
Yeah. Made a mistake.
Because of how much of a challenge it was to add liquor.
To add liquor. But for some reason, he said he doesn't want liquor.
Just want liquor, okay. It, that move, mine is very quick, very quickly.
Yeah, that's probably why he wants to do that. It's hassle.
So far, we just come with a name for the hood service company. It's
And the
circular.
company and the name of the brand, right? And you want to know about the exit signs.
Are you supposed to have a record? They have a pizza paper piece, they have a cup. They come this month, they will come next 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah, they have it based on the hood. Service and contract.
Yeah, it's a maintenance level.
And maintenance levels.
Okay. And it's only for the exhaust.
Yeah, you cook, you gonna have to cook on that.
It's an fire suppression.
Yeah, fire suppression. Yeah.
Okay.
You don't need a sprinkler because you only have 5 people. If you 75 people, you have to have sprinklers.
Yeah, we don't have that much. It's not that big of a space for the dining in area now.
Okay. So just work on the seal and that and
Okay.
should be good to go.
Sounds good.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks. And when you
Thanks for
get that
having me.
information, send it to Jeremy and Harriet at the office.
Okay, I think it's part of that link. The email's on that link.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you
Right.
so much and thank you for coming.
Faster you do it, the faster we get you.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I know, because I've been to the Department of Buildings a couple of times. Have a good night.
Take care. All right, so that takes us
That's
to
it, that one.
that. And I think. Sure, before I open my mouth. I think the next ones are easy, right?
Yeah, Jay's Tavern is a renewal. The only issue that the 49 had is noise complaints.
Nice, okay.
Nothing regarding drunken disorder.
Okay. Should we, is there anyone from, if, plus anyone here has any comments on Jay's Tavern?
We never had a problem before, but I don't know, the officer mentioned there's a lot of noise there, maybe music noise, etc.
Anyone from,
Yeah.
anyone from the gallery has any comments concerning Jay's Tavern? Okay, all right. So I guess it's not that noisy.
You can't vote on it.
Red Bear Lounge and Patricia's. And those are the,
The renewal automatic.
well, no,
it's
those are
outdoor.
outdoor dining.
Oh, don't die.
So okay, anyway. Last time we met, we had an outdoor dining and it had said that we don't need to send anything if
Now they do.
we have no issues with it, but now they want us to send something, whether, just to say we approve the limitations. So we have to send something back to them. Just an FYI for the committee, so you know that now we do have to send something back.
Okay.
Patricia's, I know that they don't have any issues with
No.
that. They had outdoor dining before during the pandemic and they were, from what I can remember, I don't think they had issues with them having it outside.
Yeah, no, Patricia's, they run a nice place.
But the other one, I don't,
Red Bear Lounge.
I don't know, where is it?
That, I'm gonna look real quick, but I think it might have been like one of those social clubs,
Oh,
but I'm gonna
I
look it
don't
up.
recall this one.
Maybe 1480 Mace.
Red Bear.
Jason Williamsburg, I think.
it says located in Casadoro Deli. Oh, I know where this place is. Yes, it is one of those clubs.
It is?
Yeah,
Doesn't have a
I should
sign or
take one of
anything,
those clubs.
like that.
It is a club.
Yeah.
I've driven by this place many times because it's in, yeah,
Let me see, actually picture
it's
this.
like right next, like right across the street from the pharmacy, etc.
Is it this,
That's the place, yeah. You're,
or is it this one?
nope.
all one
That
place?
one,
This one?
yes, that's the place.
Wally's Cafe?
Wally's Cafe is Red Bear Dining, Red Bear Tavern, yes.
And where is the outside dining that is used to happen?
I don't know where they're suggesting to have it.
There's a little thing right here.
Maybe that's it.
Well, can we look at the application? Because they usually do a good job outlining what that's gonna look like.
Jeremy said his ringer was off if you asked to meet him.
Okay.
So just similar to what they had on the sidewalk.
Yeah. So I get confused. This is the inside?
That's the
Here's
outside.
The curb.
Yeah.
Yeah, all they have was this one little thing.
It seems
Now,
like a lot.
now they want to expand it to here.
Yeah, it seems like a total of 6 tables, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, this is all that people are gonna be able to walk by.
But they still have.
How
9
big is the
feet.
sidewalk?
I mean, they're saying that it's 18 feet wide. They're on the left. The curb is only.
And then-
Oh, I see what
Oh, I see.
you're.
Would be 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I don't think. I think they're actually doing it to the side though.
No, that's the front.
Okay. And I think they already had it.
Well,
That seems like that's the place. That's the-
More, what was it, last year, or I think it might have been last fall, they got rid of year-round outdoor dining. Each year you have to reapply, is kind of what I understand. to be,
Yeah.
to get
That's it.
Your
That's the-
outdoor dining back.
that's it.
It looks like they already have it.
It looks
But
like
maybe they had to
it's the
take-
same thing that I looked up there, number one. Oh, that's is that the dining or is that just the end to the door?
I think that's the dining area that they're referring to.
Can you put it up?
The door has
Is
to be
this
outside.
now or was this before? Because remember.
This is what it is now, because we just saw it on Google Maps.
Yes.
Where did you see that?
Yeah, put it
If
up.
you look at the app, the application on the, if you look at the application that they send us, there's
Yeah.
pictures.
Oh, so there's more down here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
thank you.
now you have. But that's the
No.
outside,
Yeah,
right?
so this is, yeah, it looks like there's,
That's it outside, right?
it looks like there's tables in there though.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And even if they wanted to move up a little bit more, it seems like they have room. Because it's a big sidewalk, but. Or it looks like a
I
big
think they
sidewalk.
might be exaggerating the size of the sidewalk, though.
No, the
Yeah.
tables are.
He said it's 9 feet.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
9 feet by 17. So that, and then the sidewalk is have a 9 feet.
I think that
I think that
they're
would be
just
a problem.
trying to, I think that they're just trying to expand on what they already, I mean, I think that they're just trying to get an approval for what they already have.
It seems like what they already have is within the enclosed space,
Uh-huh.
and now they're trying to put a few tables outside of that space.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, because you see, they have these tables here. And then area for that, and according to this. They want to bring these 2 tables. I think.
Oh,
Maybe that's what this
That's
dotted
a
line
good
is, that this dotted line
It's
is
supposed to
that
be the
structure,
barrier.
but
That's-
that's
Oh.
fair.
You want to, oh, okay. So they have 9, well, all right. Can you go back to the dimension?
Yeah. Sorry.
It's okay. I don't get that. I get that I'm not getting that they want to go forward. I'm getting that that's the level.
Yeah, it looks like it's the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same thing. Huh.
Go back down a bit.
Yeah, if you, I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
totally okay
right,
with
yeah, that's not. Huh?
If it's that, it's not a problem, but if they're gonna extend, then I don't think they ask for extension because the drawing is 9 by 17.
Yeah, so they
It
can't.
looks like
block
9 by 17.
Yeah, I think they're telling you exactly what it is. And then-
I mean, if it was there before, it wasn't a problem. It looked like the sidewalk is big, another 9. So you can push a wheelchair, you can do anything around there, which wouldn't be a problem.
The
Yeah,
officers.
they
They
said
didn't have
that,
any
no problem.
issues with them, so.
Yeah,
Well, we can,
yeah, I think if once we have 4 of
it
them,
looks very neat and professional.
yeah, we can go forward with it.
Let me ask you this,
Uh,
what's the size of the door?
It's got.
Be 36, right?
Door, well, most doors will be 36.
I'm just having you, I'm having you get a sense of space visually. So that space right there enclosed is around 6 feet.
No, the drawing that I
Yeah,
had
but
just
the
now.
drawing that they have doesn't seem to represent what's actually there.
Yeah,
Correct. Because what you're looking at now is around 6 feet and they're
Yeah.
proposing 9.
It might be look like that, but it's 9.
yeah. Well,
I'm hoping it's 9 too.
Maybe.
Something looks like that.
well, what Dwayne's saying that a standard door is usually 36 inches, 36
So if you
inches
had
wide.
2 doors there, that's only 6 feet.
That's right.
And the sidewalk clearly doesn't extend 9 more feet out. But, you know, I looked it
mean,
up
but
on
that's-
Google. and it looks like
Yeah,
about
I don't think we should go
13 feet,
more.
12 to 13, so either their drawing is way off.
Right.
I mean, we're looking at the 6, but is it, we're looking at the 9, but it's a 6.
No, I think it's a 9.
No, go back to the drawings.
So the joint is not scaled.
Yeah, it's
but it
nice.
is a 9.
You see that thing that there's a door from inside. Then I have no door coming outside though.
I think
Yeah.
the addition might be this,
Mhm.
because they have this, which is
So how much-
about 6 feet. And then this would be about an additional 3 feet.
I got it.
They're looking
Okay,
to
go back to
extend.
the drawing, please.
If that makes sense.
That is the drawing.
Well, if they're looking.
No, no,
for
no, no,
extent,
no,
there's not enough space.
photograph.
That 18 feet is incorrect.
Okay, then I put the door on the drawing.
I mean, but any door.
No, you know that one thing like this is a
Yeah.
door. They're gonna put
Yeah.
a door there. So
No, that door is
the
facing,
door will be enclosed.
the door is in the building.
Yeah,
The door
One of the on the drawing.
yeah.
But do you see there's a door outside there?
in the front
I don't know where this
is on the side.
It's not on the drawing.
We're doing a lot of guessing. and-
Look, you see,
That's my
there's one door inside.
Yeah, I'm having a real difficult
And
time.
there's a door on the side.
Mind reading.
Right now, what they made, there's a door. You see that thing goes like this?
Can I
That's-
approach?
Go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course.
So, that's my interpretation. This is the main entry door from the body of the building.
That's right.
That open space. This is the main door. What they're proposing, I don't see any doors here. But just looking at the existing enclosure, just to give an approximate view without the scale, it's about 6 feet. So the proposal is to expand this area so that they could put all these chairs inside.
So I think we have, oh, and they're saying that from the building to the thing is 18 feet, and you're not seeing that. I'm not seeing it either.
Yeah,
Yeah. When you looked at like a
none of the
Google,
measurements work.
we looked at a Google Maps picture of it, and that
Okay.
enclosure is
Can I-
very,
Yeah, it's a lot smaller than 9 feet and 18.
yeah, it's not 18 feet. You see it? There's not that much.
You can measure distance. And it's not gonna be perfect, right? But it's not 18 in any
Right,
case.
It's 15.
So the drawing is labeled with measurements, but those measurements can't be correct. Whatever they're, something's not right.
All right, so maybe we need to speak to these folks.
Okay. Do we want Jeremy to reach out? to
No,
them? Do you
Jeremy-
want someone
Jeremy-
from the committee to reach out to them?
I think if Jeremy reaches out to them and then maybe they can come in at leadership and answer some of these questions quickly,
Okay.
then we'll be able to actually,
No, Jerry said go call him. I mean, go put him on. You just text him.
oh,
Jeremy?
Give me the call. Yeah, they want you to jump in the meeting, yes.
Can you guys send me down the sign-in sheets? real
Yeah.
quick?
It could be.
Thank you. Technically, if what Jeremy's saying is accurate, which I'm not sure if it is,
We can vote.
But so like hypothetically, in that scenario, if there's one person on economic development who's a member of one of the other committees, we can have 3 committees meeting. No one from community development, no one from public safety, or one person from public safety, say that's on economic development and public safety.
you only,
They count twice.
they count
And then
twice,
you
but
can
they
vote
only
on
get.
everything for all 3.
No.
I wasn't able to find anything on it one way or another. Malcolm had talked about it at a leadership committee meeting a few months ago. And what I had understood from that conversation was that if the committees are combined, then that's one thing where the votes combine like that. But if you're just doing a combined meeting of separate committees, each committee must meet quorum themselves.
That was my understanding of it too. Jeremy, you saying that it could be a form of,
Well, worst case, like you can vote on it, and then if it turns out not to be a legal vote.
If I voted now, I would vote against it because I don't have enough information.
well, some of them would be, we'd have to table it. under
Yeah.
leadership. And then the others, if you wanted to vote on them, I mean, it's up to everyone here if they want to
Mhm.
agree to that. And then,
I would
Okay,
just take,
but not a legal vote, but
right. I would just.
Jeremy,
Yeah, I'm able to connect. Can you just put me on speaker or?
Yes.
okay,
and,
able to connect, he said.
yeah, for some reason Jeremy's gone from the thing. Okay, Jeremy, we can hear you.
Yeah, I can't connect for whatever reason. Away from Wi-Fi or something.
Alright.
For Red Bear Lounge, would you be able to reach out to them and ask them to come to the leadership committee meeting tomorrow?
Sure.
Because we have questions on some of the pictures and diagrams and measurements that they have on their application.
The other. No, on
And
that-
you're saying we could, if we have quorum?
Alright, so you have the attendance sheets in front of you?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so you have. So let's see, there's 2 people on public safety.
Yeah, so technically there's 12 altogether, 12 members altogether within them.
Each, there are 12 seats total, right? There's
Yeah.
6 on economic development, 4 on community development, yeah, it's like 6, 12.
Yeah, Dwayne counts twice because he's on 2 of them.
So you got 2 there, you got Veronica. Yeah, how many total do you have?
We have 7, 1, 2, 3. No, we only have 6.
6 over.
Oh, so we don't have quorum. Yeah.
Dwayne counts twice, so you have 4.
Oh, yeah, we do. That's right. We do have quorum.
It's a joint meeting.
But his vote only counts once.
I mean, so. Yeah, I mean, that's usually what we do.
Yeah.
So we still don't, or we?
No, we do, because technically,
Oh, okay.
Dwayne counts as 2 because he's on
I
2
mean, I think-
committees.
I think, well, usually this issue is only at leadership when we have an issue. I think. If we allow them to count twice, I don't know how the state would feel about that, whatever, but once for sure we discourage it.
Yeah, I don't think there's a reason why we would need him to vote twice. I mean, the issue right now is if there's quorum.
Okay.
Stuff for.
Okay.
On Universal Cafe over there and 23rd and.
All right, so let's go
Universal
back.
Cafe. Universal Cafe. Can we send a notice out to PSLA tomorrow, letting them know that our full board doesn't meet until the 24th? And ask for an extension, letting them know that we'll be able to send them a letter on the 25th regarding that, that location, to try and get him just a 2-day extension. Because, it's hard for us to be able to do it otherwise. We have to get the full board on it too.
Well, so we'll ask, and if we can't do it, and if I can get an answer before leadership can act in lieu of the full board.
Yes.
Where you have, like, what authority do you have for that?
So
Where is it written that,
it's in the bylaws.
it's in the bylaws?
If you want me to look.
Will you please, because I want to help this guy, but I don't want to like.
We wanna make sure we're doing it by the book.
We don't wanna, I mean, he knows that he messed up or whatever you want to call it. I mean, he's a new business owner, that's like,
Yeah.
so,
Okay, so then we'll get to voting, right?
We should open for gallery, see if
so
anybody
if
has
you look
any.
at, page 17, the last page of the bylaw, it said, the description of leadership committee says it may consider and make recommendations in the name of the board on such matters in such instances where deadlines do not allow adequate time for consideration by the entire board.
Oh, that's excellent. That's right on point.
Okay.
So I'll see if they can extend the deadline. If they can't, then maybe we'll just handle tomorrow night.
Yes,
Okay,
that would be great.
No, I'm moving over there.
All right, that was our question. I don't know if anybody else.
is there anything else?
If you guys want to make a recommendation as a committee, you know,
Okay.
so either way, we'll discuss it. Well, you know, if we have the agenda for next week, we'll do it tomorrow night. And then I'll have an answer from the outside by then.
Okay,
All right,
Yep.
thank you.
okay, thanks. Anything else?
That's it.
I think that's it, thank you.
That's it.
Talk to that.
All right, Jeremy, take
So
care.
try to hear.
Bye.
If we consider and make recommendations in the name of the board on such matters and in such instances where deadlines do not allow adequate time for consideration by the entire board.
So, just one more thing. On this issue of the joint, public safety and, economic development, should we consider that and then present it to leadership and then present it to the full board? Should we do that now?
How all this came up last general board meeting?
Yeah, so during the leadership meeting,
Or leadership?
yeah, it was, I think, public safety has been having difficulties having quorum. Because they don't have quorum, they don't really have meetings, that's, you know. So they thought that perhaps their interests overlaps a little bit with ours, which in a way it does. We're always calling the precinct to find out about. So we thought that one way to solve the issue of not having these very important public safety meetings was to have a combine both committees.
So then,
So they will become economic development and will become public safety
So, yeah, it'll just be economic development and.
/ public safety.
Committee.
Yeah. So the question, I guess, is, are we okay with that?
I'm
I'm
okay with
okay with
it.
it.
Yeah. Okay, good. So
How do you
then,
guys feel? You guys are okay with that?
There's quite a bit of overlap asking about their experience with the different locations. And, you know,
Yeah.
makes sense.
Okay.
all right, so should we vote on that?
Why don't we open it up? I think there's only 2 people that may want to speak.
Okay. Ms. Cardona, Mr. Press, Mr. Gray. I think budget has quorum.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm fine. I think it's a great idea. Whatever you guys want to do, honestly.
Thank you.
Malcolm, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, good.
Awesome.
AK for it.
Kay, you had your hand up, Kay?
I did, thank you. Yeah, I think that, yeah, whatever it is that works for you guys, I mean, it's a volunteer organization and whatever it is that works for you that volunteers your time, to serve the community. If it's better for you to do that, at least this way we can keep the committees going
Right.
somehow, and that the public feels like things are being addressed and dealt with, or that they can go to the community board with issues that may be public safety or maybe community development, or maybe those two issues combined, like with these SLA licenses or places that are maybe not behaving themselves in the right way. I think it's a great idea.
Thank you, Kay. Do you have anything else for any of the committees? Because this will be the only gallery session.
Oh, no, not at this time. I just want you guys to have a great evening.
Thank you.
Enjoy Easter weekend.
Bob?
So this is gonna be the only time I could talk. I can't talk after budget, hearing what the budget committee has to say, since they're the only ones really with a quorum.
That's up to the budget committee.
All we're gonna be doing is presenting what is listed on the agenda, and we're not gonna be voting on anything, so the quorum shouldn't make a big difference. If you have something pressing afterward, I think.
Well, I'd like to hear what the budget committee has, being a former budget chair of a community board. Now, as far as the rest of it goes, I find it amusing that you're substituting one member of one committee for another member of another committee. And that's all I'm gonna say.
Okay,
Okay.
all right, so should we vote on that issue and then vote on the applications and then move into budget so that way we can finish this before
Yeah.
midnight? All right, so I move that we combine the Economic Development Committee with the Public Safety Committee. And that, we make that recommendation to leadership at the next meeting tomorrow.
I second.
Okay, everyone in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Any abstentions? Okay, great. So we'll present that to
Heard
leadership.
I'm putting you down a second.
Okay. All right, so now, in terms of the applications, Universe Cafe, I have, make a motion that we propose or recommend a letter of no objection so that they can get a full liquor license.
I second.
We have voted on it?
Yeah,
Oh, so we're gonna go.
we have quorum, yeah,
Oh.
under the Jeremy rule.
So what's the,
No
Business
objection for Universe Cafe, the gentleman that was here, right? Any opposition? Any abstentions? You second, right?
yes, I think.
You second, good.
Okay. And then we're gonna bring this up to leadership for.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Then also RE Grill. Can we table that subject to the production of those documents?
Would have to, right?
Yeah, because we don't have enough information.
But yeah, I think she should. Well,
Yeah, right.
Okay.
she didn't really put anything to the SLE yet.
Jay's Tavern.
I make a recommendation to send a letter of no objection.
Wait.
J Tavern, right?
Yeah.
We have a little noise in what you said. It's okay. Have a second?
Second.
Okay, any opposition? Any abstention? And then we have the outdoor dining applications. I'll start with Patricia's first.
Second that.
No,
Somebody gotta make a.
so motion of no objection, second. By
Yeah,
Ms.
but,
De Leon.
I go there, I don't see a problem.
no, they won't have a problem. here.
Seconded.
Any objections? Any abstentions? All right, the motion passes. And then Red Bear Lounge, we also don't have sufficient information.
Yeah, I guess so.
So I move to table that one as well.
Yeah, we'll table that, see if they could get it to us by tomorrow.
All right, so, sorry, let me just take it.
Taking a measurement is not very easy. It is 18 to 15 is the difference.
Sorry, let me just take a look at something. I know we just voted on Jay's Tavern, but one of the things I want to do is like be consistent. Did they provide everything?
They, yeah, they,
Or
the
renewal.
only thing is,
Oh, is it renewal?
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
a
renewal, it's
renewal.
not a-
Ah, okay, good. All right, great. All
the
right,
renewal is the
Okay.
OSU.
all right, excellent.
That one I doesn't bother too much.
All right, cool.
Um,
So then that's it for us, right? Budget.
Budget.
Thank you for being patient.
Hopefully we'll do that. So we'll go over some of the. All right, share this. In Chrome, is that where we were?
It's right there, screen.
I guess that's true. Could just do that as well. All right. So we're going to talk a little bit about the district need statement and our budget requests. We didn't have much in the way of budget requests. But so for the summary of district needs, I'm actually not going to talk really about the overview that's been talked about in most of our prior ones. As a little bit of background on this document, this is one of 3 things that community boards are required to do. You're required to hold a monthly meeting, you're required to hold a monthly public hearing, and you're required to submit this need statement and budget requests every year. So it's something that ostensibly the city looks at as a way to see how the community is doing and what the community needs. This first section, pages 9 to 11, the overview is kind of a narrative of what does your district look like? How is it changing over recent years? Just a very broad, high-level overview of what it is. And then what do you see as the most pressing concerns? I didn't really get any input on this, so I tried to change it as little as possible. I looked at some of the data. The Department of City Planning gives a lot of different reference points to look at different data that's offered. So I tried to update it with some of that, but in general, I tried to leave it similar to what was there before. And so for our top 3 most pressing concerns, those are unchanged: traffic, schools, parks, and open spaces. So with traffic, we have folks not following the law, whether it's double and triple parking, parking on sidewalks, parking in bike lanes, speeding, illegal modifications to the cars, not following traffic laws, whatever. And there's not a ton of enforcement on that is what we're seeing. Schools, there's a big concern about school capacity. I don't have as much on these exact numbers. Those are left from the prior installment of this, but people are concerned about there being enough seats for kids, especially in middle schools. And then parks and open space. We do have a lot of parkland, but a lot of those parks and playgrounds are not well maintained. This was done, I think, before we knew that Zimmerman, for example, was getting the renovation. You go down the street, I can't remember the park on.
Loretta.
Park.
Loretta.
No, Loretto. Yeah, I was trying to think of Loretto. That one, the pavement of the basketball courts are crumbling. So we got a lot of work could be done there. But now we'll skip down to economic development. It's page 20. Economic development is not actually its own subject. It's not actually its own policy area here. It is lumped in with housing and land use. So there wasn't anything included in there about economic development specifically last year, and I'm not on this committee and didn't have the insight to really offer anything. So what we have in here is affordable housing, and well, actually I did add this part, need for economic development. They had changed the form a little bit to add these specific sub areas. And what I see is something that we were talking about earlier. A lot of the places are difficult to get to if you're not driving, or if they're easy to get to with driving, a lot of times there's not parking there. So that means that only certain places that have access for everybody. Our community, only about 50% of households have access to a car. So we got half of the people in this district who are relying on their feet or public transportation most of the time. Some people with bikes, but that's a lot more delivery drivers and people doing work rather than using it to get places.
So your ask is basically to extend the bus routes to go out to these other areas that currently don't have it?
You got a lot of things, right? A lot of Morris Park doesn't have any buses. If you go south of Morris Park Avenue, you don't have any east-west buses until you get to down across the railroad tracks, right?
Right.
And if you're talking about north-south, the 21 or 31, sorry, not 21, the 31 or 8, those come by. I've stood there waiting for 20 or 30 minutes before they come. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
it's very,
In the
very.
morning, I think a little bit easier, but during the day, they're hard.
And if you
Yeah.
miss it, it's like,
Yeah, you're just standing there. And another point is that a lot of these buses or bus stops are unprotected. So you got someone standing out there with no bench, no shade. So it can be very difficult to get around. And as a result of that, a lot of the members of our community can't get somewhere to shop. You have, and that is what I saw as the biggest hindrance to some of our economic development, but I'd love to hear from you all too. Not necessarily today, you know, you can always send it later.
I mean, what can we put into this? Like, can we put in like holding workshops or something like that for new businesses or people that want to open businesses? Because I think that would help a lot. Because we have people that are interested in running, like opening their own business, but they don't know where to go. They don't know what's available for them grant wise or something like that. So I was thinking we could do something like start opening up some kind of workshops or stuff to let people know what's available for them.
Yeah, so to answer your question, I mean, I'd like that suggestion as well, but this document is extremely wide open. I actually asked a question if it even has to be situated in our district. You can request something for another district. You can say that our community needs this access in another community. So it can be anything you want. The flip side to that is that the agencies who have to respond typically don't respond. If it's not something that they're already planning on doing, then they say that either we don't support it or we do support it, but we don't have any money. So maybe ask again next year. You can ask for anything, but the chances that it will have a favorable outcome are low.
Gotcha.
Have you done any, like, do you know how much of this document is actually addressed? How much of it is actually funded or acted upon by the city? Like, have you been able to keep track of that?
I haven't looked at it in that way. Most of what we had
Because I
put in
remember,
there this year and last year doesn't support or support but don't have the resources. Malcolm raised his hand, and he did this for fiscal year 25. So, Malcolm, what do you have?
Hello. Hey. Well, one, Ryan, I think you're doing a great job. But I would love to suggest, because I know like it is broken up between capital and expense projects. I would love to suggest possibly adding tree guard repair or tree pit cleanup there as part of a suggestion. And also to Veronica's point about the workshops, that's a great idea. In fact, I would love to partner with the community board to do like a NWBE certification program, a workshop, and a small business workshop in White Plains Road bid, if you guys are willing.
oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. All right, cool. Other than that, I think, Ryan, you're doing a good job. So, don't worry about that.
I did ask for more trees on Williamsbridge Road, and they did not support that. So
I would suggest a lot of the suggestions, keep adding them there. A lot of the times it's just funding for the prior year, but if they keep seeing the same request over and over again and this keep being ranked, they'll respond to it better. Just change the narrative up every single year.
okay,
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all.
thanks.
You're welcome.
Anything else on economic development, or need to sit with it a little while?
Maybe Ryan, you want to speak to the timeline in terms of getting the input from the varying committees, that way
Yeah.
it could be timely in our submissions.
Yeah, good point. So this document is due October 31st every year, and it should be voted on this year. I didn't get it voted on until November, but it should be voted on before that. So really, we should have all of the requests and additions that committees might have to add about their or other policy areas by the end of September, so that it can be put in really by the beginning of September. I mean, it takes quite a while, so that it can be put in, presented to the full board, and voted on in October.
Is it unrealistic to try and get everything in by June? That way it gives you guys some time to put everything in.
Well, in theory, the board has a resolution and continuing resolution to have everything in by June. That didn't happen last year. We got one set of budget requests and no input on the needs statement. So you can keep bringing it up, but I do kind of like the idea of giving people the summer to think about it. So, by the end of August, or giving new members a chance to give some input as well. So there is some advantage to going to letting it go a little bit later, but that's a big lift, for whoever is crafting this document as well.
Could I give the members a chance?
Yeah, I didn't think about that part, but yes, you're right. New members may come in with ideas that others may not have to have. So that's a good idea.
I think that's I didn't want to.
If I could speak on that for new members, it should be in addition to, right? Not in lieu of, so it doesn't prevent us from getting our submissions in.
All right, we shouldn't rely on
Right,
the new
because
members to bring ideas.
Right.
We should have something too.
it's gonna be another form of procrastination.
Yeah. And I think that's what happened this last year too, right? Everyone was saying, well, it's going to be June, and then I think it was May or June, someone raised, well, let's extend it to the end of August, and then August got here.
Yeah, and that's-
Yeah.
All right, so we can think of stuff for economic
Yeah.
development.
And public safety is down on page 16-7. Cool.
Wait.
I think we need more personnel.
That is what they're telling us.
Who's on the public safety committee?
All of us now.
Wayne and Hazel.
Dwayne and Hazel, and maybe after the full board meeting, it'll be all of us.
Send it in.
Sure, absolutely. In fact, I'm gonna author two of them myself.
Yeah, not bad. So you could send everything at once. Maybe you just want to take a picture.
I'm still under the learning curve, but I'm willing to go through the process with you.
So question, because I did this a long time ago, I couldn't, but I haven't done one in a while, so I apologize. But I had thought about it earlier this week, and they mentioned it also, the police officers. Cars, police cars, is that something that we could put in for the budget, or does that have to go to like city council or something?
Put anything in.
No, but I think they need the officers to drive the cars.
Right.
They don't have, like, when I heard that
We need
there's
more
3
officers
patrol,
than-
Like,
3 sound like very
And
little.
I think the officers are more important than the car. Me, I think as much of.
Well, I know at one point they were down cars, they didn't have that many patrol cars, now they not have
Oh, yeah,
enough
but
people.
People to drive the cars.
Board members important important because you need a car to get them to
Yeah.
places, but
They're having.
I think that's really important.
Yeah. Well, that probably there's a race.
Person there's no filling or no car.
Or they get the train and they go to other countries.
That's what he said. That's what they
Yeah,
said.
but then again, there's no bus and train really, you know, reset. So you
Yeah.
gotta transfer.
So I would say that they need
Both,
personnel.
both,
Yeah.
both.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not sure how we could do the personnel part though.
but we can.
that is, so there are two, I mean, kind of anticipating what's coming up next, but there are two categories of requests. There's a capital request and a budget or expense request.
Yeah.
And a capital request is, you know, stuff, and an expense request is an ongoing, like headcount or things like that.
So we can put that on the capital.
Mhm.
Yeah. You know, so one is capital, one is expense, but they both do exist in here as something that we can add.
You know, I just thinking, I wonder if the reason for them not assigning officers, you know, to make up is because, you know, at least statistically speaking, crime is going down here, or is, right? And then you have other places where crime might be going up. So when you have to assign new recruits,
Yeah, I heard, and I don't know how accurate this is, but I know a couple of academy routes before. They had, I think, 9 new recruits for the precinct, but they ended up moving on shortly after that. They didn't
From
stay
here?
longer, yeah.
yeah.
And then you have a lot of people retiring because they, you know, and it's hard to fill that plus having new people, it just doesn't build up.
Yeah. So in this, it's talking about the traffic and traffic violations, and a lot of that comes down to not having people who can
And
take care of that because they're working on other stuff.
what she said.
Yeah. And then the other piece of this is the budget request. We only had one, and I believe that was headcount for police, so it's not very exciting. 12. Yeah. So. And then this sort of gives you the agency does not support, cannot accommodate, remove requests.
Wow.
So, yeah. And then down below, you can see the other common response, and that's just sort of what you get for most of them. Either we don't support it or can't accommodate. So like Malcolm's saying, keep putting it in there and change up the narrative a little bit. So it's a similar request, but the story that you're telling around it is.
With the graffiti, you can call 311 and have New York City clean them. So they've been cleaning a lot down my.
Yeah, I've done that too. Against those bioswales. When we get the big high winds, everything gets blown in there. I even saw a car seat in there once. I called and they came and they took it out. Big stuff.
All right, so that is all I had. Chat. So yeah, anything else, or should we move to gallery?
Yes, let's move together.
All right. I know Bob, you had said that you might have something else to say.
Yeah, well, as a former budget chair, some advice for you. Budget priorities are supposed to be done through board committees, and I don't see that done this time. Individuals gave in budget priorities, including yourself, Mr. Chair. Because when you go through committees, the agencies are supposed to be brought in, and then they could be questioned what does your agency need? For instance, you call in the 49th precinct. I know there was no quorum at the precinct, but still, you could say, what does the precinct need? And then that could be a budget priority. I also see you mentioned that there are a lot of seniors, and this board has, what, more than 50% seniors now? But there's not one budget priority affecting seniors, as other boards do. Then there's the new bid director of the White Plains Road. What is he going to need to help with his job? Because normally economic development committees give furniture or other things they try and do to help bid directors or merchants themselves. So, I mean, while you've tried to do a good job, and as far as the resolution, the budget priorities being done over and over again, they're called continuing resolutions. And the city is trying to, or at least when I was a chair, they said they wanted to bring up new budget priorities every year. So I don't know if you've been to the meeting where they went down at OEM and with the district manager where that was done. Okay, I did as a budget chair. I went down with my district manager and we sat through this because there was one person from Queens who said, well, we've been handing in the same budget priority for 30 years. So, you know, it was said, well, now you know why you're not getting it, because you need to put in new budget priorities. All right, so that would be, just some advice to you when it comes around, or change it so that the downtown doesn't know it's the same priority. All right, it's just a little advice. Take it if you want, but it should be coming through the committees where the committees can bring in the agencies. For instance, sanitation environment brings in DEP. What does DEP need? We know that the gas lines are being changed. All right, and if that's it, then thank you.
Thanks. And yeah, I mean, it's nice to have them come through committees. That's why we're trying to do it this way. But for everyone on there, a budget priority can be submitted by anyone. They don't have to live in our district. They don't have to be a budget priorities committee member. They don't have to be a board member. They don't have to be on the committee. It's nice to have the committee to have that behind it, but anyone can submit.
I think his point though is a good point about having the agencies come.
To a degree, right? Like, it's nice to hear what the agencies feel that they need, but a lot of times what the agencies feel that they need and what the community feels that they. If there's a disconnect there, the agency's not going to be able. The agency's already not addressing it, I guess.
Okay.
Is the way that I would think about it. But.
Well, next month before, if they come to NYPD, we could ask them to bring ideas of what.
Right, and I also thought that maybe we could reach out to some of the organizations, like, I think you belong to one in Arlington.
International merchants, yeah.
Right, because they might have input on what, the community needs, right?
Yeah, we could do that. We
Mhm.
can invite them.
Right.
We can ask Jeremy to send out to the different ones and ask them to come and let us know what their needs might be that may not be on the budget priority.
Right.
I know like Van Ness probably has their own list that they've put in, but it doesn't hurt.
Or even if we have duplicates, it wouldn't hurt either, right? Yeah.
I think that's
No,
a
you're
good
talking
idea.
more about the merchant.
We need to let Jeremy know. So that
Or
we
it's
can
more
reach out to
have a
him.
merchant, which runs by the bakery guy doing you mean?
Sal,
Sa.
Auntie?
Yes. I mean, before we didn't join here, Joe Thompson used to get us go to these merchant to let a meeting and bring back information on it. But that didn't last long. That is kind of.
I'm gonna send you to this.
No.
No, I
Any other? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, he has access to go,
I'll ask you.
Well, any other gallery speakers?
There's somebody, Kay, your hand is up.
Kay, your hand is up. Did you want to speak again?
I'm sorry, I didn't realize my hand was still up. But since you guys mentioned seniors in that document, one thing seniors really need here, we would like to age in place. But since it's not that I'm not qualified for SCREE, but I'm in a private house and I'm friends with the owners. So I know even with and the lease is about to expire anyway, the 2-year lease is about to expire. Even if they gave me a new lease, I don't think they would be too thrilled if I went and applied for SCREE. I am amongst other seniors, we really could use housing because not everybody's going to be able to stay in their particular place of residence. And being somebody who works in a nursing home, most people don't want to end up in one of those facilities. So if we could get some, and this has been going on for like 20 odd years that we've been asking for senior housing in this community. So if that could possibly be, added into all this new housing supposedly is going to be built right through the city of Yes and other programs that have been approved. So if we could maybe specify more senior housing and stuff that might be, if you notice that the amount of seniors has increased exponentially and it's going to keep increasing. So if we could get some more like dedicated senior housing, that would be really great. And that's it. That's all I had to say, and I'll take my hand down now.
Thanks. Diana?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I put the note in the chat about the police, the situation with the police. But I wanted to ask, and I don't know if Malcolm's still on the call, because I think he remembers the grant that we got through the governor for the Greater Morris Park area, the development grant. There's a whole long list of detailed proposals that different groups put together to submit for the grant. Most of which, not all of which, but most of which are in Community Board 11. And the grant, which is like $20 million, only covers a fraction of the costs of all the projects that were submitted as part of the application. So it might be a good idea to look through that application and see if there's any, a lot of the projects were capital projects, and see if there's any that we wanted to also ask for. Because now I think what happens since the grant's been awarded, they're to negotiate, everyone has to negotiate to see exactly how much money is going to be allocated to which of the specific projects that were part of the grant. And there's no way they can all be funded. But that's just a suggestion. I mean, I remember one of them was for renovating the Ben Abrams playground, the one in Bronx Park East at Leidig. So that's just a suggestion to look at that list.
That's a good idea.
Thank you, Diana.
All right, that's everybody.
All right.
We're all good? Yes.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
8:54. Thank you, everyone who joined and contributed to the conversation. We appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good night.
Good night, everyone. Thanks.
Good night.